Okay, appreciate you guys being here tonight. Appreciate you guys waiting patiently as well. There's just a lot of teaching, a lot of coaching be going on right now, whether we're in the locker room, whether we're on the floor, and it's a great time for our guys to continue to learn and try to get better and in all aspects, and understand that every minute that you're on the floor, it matters. And it matters with your development as an individual and as a team force right now. Again, I was pleased with our effort in the second half. I didn't think we had the same kind of intensity and effort defensively in the first half that we showed over at Tech for 30 minutes over there. And, again, getting our guys to understand how important it is to not want to have to coach effort. You want to coach execution. And, want guys to come out and be excited about competing from the very beginning. But nevertheless, we're excited about the start of this season. We're excited about our opportunity that we have this coming Friday on the road against a program that's been highly successful over the last decade or so here. It's going to be a good contest for us and an opportunity for us to continue to get better.
Coach, was it a good thing that it was tight early to get you guys to say, listen, we're better than this, or do you think maybe, from where I was sitting, I saw a little bit of nerves, maybe?
Yeah, well, you know what, we've had a chance to be on the road against two older teams, two really good teams, and we haven't had a chance to obviously have a dress rehearsal here at home, and in a perfect world, we'd love to be able to be at home and give our guys an opportunity to have one of those before you have a regular contest that counts, that matters. Moving forward, in the future, we'll be able to have that. This year, our schedule didn't dictate us having that opportunity, but you always like to have one of those under your belt a little bit so we can kind of play through, some of the sloppiness a little bit, and, the guys are not as nervous. They already kind of know the game routine, and they have a feel for what it's going to be like to play in front of a home crowd.
Coach, teams start with the free throw line. Is that characteristic of your teams, or would you attribute that to nerves, like Luke said?
Well, I mean, I'm not shooting the free throws. No, we have to continue to work as a team, and individually, guys got to put the time in on the free throws. Free throws is repetition. It's getting in and doing it over and over. We haven't shot free throws well. The early part of the season here, in both of our early games, we didn't shoot free throws very well, and again, you just got to spend more time working at it, and guys got to put the time in to getting better in that area.
Paul needs to play a key role this season. He got into some quick foul trouble, but from what you saw when he was on the floor, what'd you think?
No, we need Paul out there on the floor. He's a guy that, again, has a lot of experience. He's our most experienced guy that we have, playing for us this year, and we need him on the floor defensively. We need him on the floor offensively for us, and he's going to have to learn to play out of stay out of foul trouble. He's been in foul trouble. First game he wasn't, second game he was, and we need him out there on the floor. We need his leadership all the way around.
We haven't seen him dunk like that before. What exactly did they call the technical on? Because from our perspective, we didn't see much.
Well, again, anytime you get some energy and some excitement from Paul Thomas, that's pretty good. I want some emotion. He gave me some emotion, so I can live with a little bit of that. But again, you can't taunt a player. You know what I mean? I mean, he made a great play, and again, we always want to be a program that expects to make those kind of plays. We're not surprised. We don't celebrate. We go to the next play. It's a great play. Go to the next play. You know what I mean? And we'll learn and we'll get better with that. And but that's how we want to be. We want to be a program that expects it. Don't try to act like, hey, you know what? Man, I'm excited. I can't believe I did that. No, I expect to do that. I go down and I sit down and go at the next possession. But it was a great play, and I did like to see the emotion that he gave us.
You had, in the first half there, you had FA and Easy switching out almost every single, it seemed like, trip up or down the floor. What exactly is your strategy, philosophy between taking those guys out and in?
Well, both of those guys are developing big men, and early in their careers right now, they're getting an opportunity to play significant minutes, and at the level that we want to play on both ends of the floor, it's really hard for those guys to sustain, whether it's 2 minutes, 3 minutes at a time, to be able to do that. And hopefully over the course of their career, They go from 2 minutes to where they can be out there doing it the way we want to do it on both ends in terms of staying in the stance defensively, offensively running the floor and doing what you have to do offensively. They can build on that to 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. By the time they get to be a senior, then maybe they can stay out there for 24 minutes, you know. But right now we're building how we want to play with those guys, and so we want them to give it as hard as they can go. They get tired, we get the next guy in there, okay? But we want them to learn to play at the level we want on both ends. They can't rest. They have to get better.
It looks like Iziagu, at least on this year's team, might be a little enforcer for you.
That's a great pronunciation right there. We'll give you kudos on that one right there. I haven't even tried to attempt the last name. I just say Casey, you know. But you know what? Casey is one of those guys that again that's going to continue to develop right before us the whole time. He's a big man that you know, from everything from running, learning how to run the right way and with good form, first 3 steps. Both of those guys, first 3 steps getting out, whether it's on offense, whether it's on defense. They're going to develop the whole time. I do think Casey came in with good energy. I thought that, again, he did a nice job of walling up and got a couple block shots as well. I thought he played really well at Texas Tech. He played well for us and gave us good minutes over there as well. So he's coming, and he'll come all year long. And the thing I'll say about big guys, when big guys really start figuring it out over the course of their careers, boy, they really become the enforcer that you're talking about. And he has the chance to be one of those guys. They're just learning the pace of play of the game again still. And that's what they're kind of struggling with for a better part of the first part of the season. The game's faster. You know, and in high school, those guys didn't have to do all that. You know, they biggest guys on the floor. You know, they maybe don't even come up the floor for a trip. You know what I mean? So, you know, they're learning and they're going to be developing right in front of your eyes. But we want to have a two-headed monster with those 2 guys kind of coming in and out of there a little bit.
Coach, you mentioned a lot of things there that he needs to develop offensively, but if you could just pinpoint the first thing you want him to do in these next few games, because he looks like he could be unstoppable with his length.
Yeah, you know what? We give these guys real simple things. And their roles, again, will start one way, and it's up to those guys how their roles finish at the end of the year. What you put into it is what you're going to get out of it and how you continue to develop. But it's very simple. We just need those guys right now to run the floor as hard as they can run the floor on offense. Run to the rim, hard as you can run, okay? Try to duck in and give us a physical presence inside. Defensively, sprint back as hard as you can get back. Okay, be ready to go to ball screen and transition. Stay in the stance and don't let the ball just come right in the post. It's really the hardest thing for big guys because in high school they can just stay right behind a guy. You know, in college, if that ball comes inside, it's a basket. I don't care who you're scoring, who you're playing. So you can't let that ball get inside. So, you know, just giving us a physical presence, running the floor, and set good screens. That's it. Didn't say anything about scoring, right? Scoring's a bonus.
Speaking of, you had balanced scoring tonight, Coach. I think with the 5 guys in double figures. We have not seen that at UTEP with the scoring be spread around like that in a while. Is that a product of your offense, or is it just one of those nights where shots are dropping for 5 different guys?
No, the hardest teams to guard are teams that have multiple scores and guys that on any given night you can have a different guy be a leading scorer. You know, and those are the kind of teams I like coaching. Those are the kind of teams we like putting out on the floor. You know, you have to have a balanced scoring attack. We like to try to play inside out. We're playing with some young posts, so put it in there sometimes a little tough, and you really don't know what you're going to get sometimes when you put it in there. But you have to play inside out. You can't play outside in, and we're trying to establish that. And something that we'll have as a staple of our program here. We have older players that'll come in that'll definitely give us that. But you're going to be really hard to guard when you have on any given night, a number of different guys that can score for you and be a leading scorer for you. So we want a balanced attack. Yeah, we do. We don't want one guy being he's got to go out and get 30 for us. No, that's an easy team to guard. We need a lot of guys to be able to score. Yeah, we need everybody. Just like we try to run our break, we don't want one guy dominating the ball. The hardest teams to guard are teams that have multiple ball handlers that can initiate offense. And that's what we're trying to get to. We may not be there all the way this year, but we're going to build toward that, and that's the way we want to play. The same thing defensively. We want to be able to switch and guard multiple positions. But, sometimes you gotta work through some of that right now a little bit, right?
Gilliard, your catalyst though, Coach, as he goes, does this team go, you think?
He's played really well in the 3 games, and again, the thing we're trying to challenge him to be is a two-way player for us. We know that he can give us some scoring, and but we want him to take shots on our terms. We don't want him to get out there and he doesn't ever have to go in and hunt any shots. The shots have found him. you know, and but he's a guy that we do need to score the ball and give us something defensively on the other end, and I do think he's trying really hard to do that for us.
He looks skinnier than last season.
Was that right? Yeah. We've done a lot of running. We're in pretty good shape anyway. I mean, we got some guys that have got to be Iron Man for us and stay out there on the floor for us this year. So, you know, my first year at Fresno State, we played 7 guys. You know, and so I just said to my team over there just a little bit ago, we know it can be done at the level that we want it done, how hard we want to play. You know, and again, guys playing without fouls, guys playing without injuries. It's how you take care of your body. Understand how we want to play on both ends of the floor. So, you know, we're just gonna keep digging and trying to get better every single possession, every day in practice and games.
Coach, yesterday you talked about how you thought it would feel walking into this arena before the game. How did it feel for you?
Well, I mean, it's very surreal. You know what I mean? To be honest, I mean, you know, I said the other day, it's an honor and a privilege to be the head coach here. There've been some really great coaches here that have done an unbelievable job. You know, obviously, the legend and Coach Haskins. You know, and the legacy that he left, and hopefully that you know, we can build on some of that. I know he's a very defensive-minded coach, and his teams were very successful because they really guarded and they took a lot of pride in their defense. And you know, we're going to try to build a program that tries to do the same thing. We want to try to take some pride in our defense and try to guard. We're a little small right now than we want to be, you know, on the perimeter and in the post, but it doesn't take away the fight and the heart that we've got to have right now. I'm trying to do it that way, but you know, again, I couldn't sleep last night because I was excited about the opportunity to be able to do that, you know, so I'm excited about being here.
I got
Just one.
You go for it.
What about the Aggies? Jan's gonna walk in here with 8 guys who are good athletes. He does every year. What do you know about him? How do you view him?
A lot of respect for their program, a lot of respect, obviously, for their coach. You know, he gets those guys to play hard, play the right way. You know, they play like junkyard dogs. They're tough. You know, we're going to have to get out there and match their energy and compete at a very high level with those guys, with the value, taking care of the basketball with them. You know, we're excited about the opportunity for us to try to continue to build and get better against a program that's been established and has had opportunities to be in postseason play, where we're striving to try to get to. So it's a great opportunity for us, and we're excited about it.
Coach, last one from me. You got out of this game healthy, knock on wood. Coach Dimmel seems like he has 6 guys drop every single game. Do you have any advice for him on the secret here?
Coach Dimmel's done a great job this year. He and his staff, those guys have done a phenomenal job this year. You know, coming in and you know, really trying to get guys to buy into how hard you have to compete. You know, the way they fight right now on every possession, you know, fight to the end right now. I mean, they're building a winning culture right now. They're going to be really good, you know, and anytime you're building, you know, you have to build your talent level. He's going to build his talent level, but he's going to have the foundation laid already in terms of how hard you have to compete, how hard you have to fight. But those guys have done a phenomenal job this year, and they're going to be better for it moving forward. And you know, this community really needs to get behind them and what they're doing and how they're doing it. But been really impressed with his staff on how he's got his guys to fight. You know, whether it's injuries, whether it's any adversity they fall through, they never stop fighting. And that's what you have to do when you're building a program. You have to build a program where guys are going to scrap, they're going to fight all the way till the horn goes off. And they've done a great job of that this year.
Thank you, Coach. We'll have Coach Gilliard and Paul Thomas come in.